Dave, hey, congratulations for being here at the Hollyshorts Film Festival. How does it feel for you this year?
Oh, this is amazing. I've actually done a lot of stuff in entertainment before, but this is the first time I've actually executive produced a documentary. And this is a deeply personal project for me because our film is about a young boy, a Filipino boy, who has a facial difference. He's born with a cleft lip and palate. And I am a cleft-affected person. I was born with a cleft lip and palate, and in fact, I just had my 12th craniofacial surgery about a month and a half ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm not just some executive producer that's trying to get a film made. I'm someone that deeply feels a personal connection with the characters in our documentary, and this is a story that I really want to be told, because not only is it a personal story, but it's also a story that I hope is a metaphor for the way that facial difference people are treated in Hollywood. So I'll give you an example. When you look at Hollywood today, many of the negative tropes that we were raised on, like making fun of women and making fun of people of color, Asian Americans, a lot of those tropes are no longer allowed to be used. If you use them in your script, you use them in your story, that's a one-way trip to getting fired. And as a result, a lot of studios, a lot of films still try to find tropes that they can use in order to reduce the amount of exposition that they have to explain in the film. And people with facial differences are that punching bag. People with facial differences are the ones that people put in films in order to explain why that guy grew up into like a serial killer, or why that guy grew up into a master villain. And this has been going on for decades, and even very recently with films like The Batman and others, which only happened this past year, you still continue to see the villain has a scar, the villain has a cleft, and so my hope is that our documentary will help humanize people with facial differences and will make people think twice about whether we want to perpetuate these negative tropes.
And what was the name of this film?
Every Day After.
Now, where did you find the Filipino boy?
So I'm actually part of an organization called Smile Train. I'm a donor, and I'm also chairman of a philanthropic advisory council. And we help save cleft-affected babies all over the world. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to bring a little bit more attention to the challenges associated with not only being born with a cleft, but living with a cleft, which, as I mentioned earlier, I've lived with for 50 years. And so we started to look at various families. Obviously, some didn't want to be filmed, but this family in Philippines wanted to be filmed, and they were okay with it. And we really resonated with the story because, as you can tell, I'm Asian. And one other element of the story that we really think is very powerful is the love of a sister for a brother, the sibling love, which is uncommon in the United States. In the United States, it's more of a sibling rivalry thing. But you'll see in the documentary that the boy's sister essentially raises him and takes care of him and encourages him to go have surgeries and fix his cleft lip.
So as audiences have a chance to watch this, what is the one most important take you hope they walk away with?
I hope that they develop some empathy for people with facial differences, and that when they watch films in the media, in Hollywood, and they see someone with a facial difference that's put in a negative light, particularly as a social outcast or a serial killer, that they look at that and say, that's not right. And that's my hope, that as a public, we will start to realize that that's not acceptable.
Sounds like a beautiful documentary. Thank you for speaking to us, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.